Today I fucked up by losing $146,000 in poker. Mandatory not today. I've been living alone in a new city for a little more than a year. I literally don't know anyone here except for my work folks who I don't interact with except for at work. With not much to do during my downtime, I got into online poker. I have a decent job where I make around $100K a year and, where I stay, this puts me in the top 10 of earners. But over the last 7 months I've managed to lose $146K playing poker. I primarily played PL06. I started with buy-ins of 100, but soon moved to 500 and then 5,000. I was losing often, but only after I would run up insane scores. Similar every other day, I would load up for 5K, run it up to 30K, proceed to lose it all, and then buy back 6 more times. I kept it mostly in balance with a couple of big cash outs, getting up from the table with, say, a 70K profit, only because everyone else left. But I was a consistent loser, losing on an average 20K 30K per month. My entire salary would go into this, other than rent and food. The last week or so of every month I would be counting my dollars to make sure I had enough to make it through. And then it happened. I lost balance completely. Had a month where I lost 50K. Blew through my savings, took an advance from work, then blew through that too. As of today I'm down $146K, with $12K in debt and about $200 to my name to last out the month. I don't have enough for rent this month and don't really know how I'm going to figure it out. I am respected at work and seen as someone who is highly logical, analytical, practical and intelligent. What they don't know is that I'm also a degenerate gambler. I'm sure I'll get through this. I have to. And I have to rebuild. But I just needed to put this down and share it with someone, even if it is just words in an empty sub. Take care, guys. Loneliness is a hell of a thing. TLD, a lonely well-to-do guy spends everything on poker. End up being lonely and in debt. Being broke is the best possible thing for you right now. You got out with only $12,000 in debt. Ban yourself officially from all the card rooms and beware of any windfall of cash. Find a 12-step meeting, get a sponsor and work the steps. Stop and reframe. You aren't getting the $146,000 back, so stop thinking about that number at all. Erase it from your mind. You are $12,000 in the hole. That's the debt you owe. Start paying it off as much as you can. Focus on that number, not the $146,000. Don't gamble again. If this isn't the wake-up call to seek out professional addiction help, I don't know what else to say, but expect your life to turn to ruins if you don't get help immediately. For food, you can use food banks so you don't starve. For rent, you might just have to be late and catch up next month. You may lose your job and home as a result of this. Get off Reddit and make some calls to support hotlines and therapists. My father always told me, any mistake you can put a dollar amount on can be overcome. Best of luck. Degenerate gambler here. My advice to you, which I do not follow myself, is to block all the sites. Gambling isn't really a money problem. It's an addiction. If you really want to beat it, find some GA Zoom meetings and share your story. Listen to everyone else's and be of service. The debt is extremely low. Like you said, your income is high. You'll pay all of it off and create a nice nest egg in no time. Your biggest problem will be overcoming the addiction and replacing that dopamine rush. I don't know why anyone plays online poker nowadays. There is AI out there doing mathematically correct moves and machine learning off of literally millions of past plays. Most players are not human now. At this point, online poker is just as bad as roulette or blackjack at a casino, if not worse. To even an educated player, odds are not in your favor. You are going to bleed out after enough hands. You aren't hustling anyone. If you're going to be a degenerate, then go to a casino in or out of state so you can at least sit across from other humans. Not supercomputers. The National Problem Gambling Helpline 1-800-522-4700 is available 24/7 and is 100% confidential. Go to a Gamblers Anonymous meeting. You aren't a degenerate gambler. You are an addict. Firstly, assuming this is real, kudos to you for slamming the brakes on now. Be glad you have a crazy decent income. You can, and will, recover from this. I wish you luck. Happy for you to DM, if it will keep you off the poker. My advice, buy an Xbox. Plow hours into that. Dude, I had 12k in debt when I had zero income. You'll be fine. Just make sure to get control over your addictive personality. Find cheaper, sustainable outlets. I've spoken to people who went over 300k in debt to gambling. Don't do it, man. You owe it to yourself to treat yourself better. X200B. I hope you can speak to a doctor or therapist soon. Get well and have a wonderful day. As someone who plays a lot of poker, you have described my nightmare, and while I've kept things under control, it is far too easy to imagine some event destabilizing me and falling into this trap. I feel for you, brother, and wish you the best of luck. On a completely different note, there are a lot of well-intentioned people in this thread who have no idea how poker works and where to look for scams. It's slightly hilarious. Tell real-life people and get some help. Just forget about the 146k. Convince yourself that you were carrying them in cash and you lost them. Don't think about them and move forward. It's so obvious for everyone that you can do it. Good luck and be strong. Perfect, you hit the bottom. Time to open your eyes and leave gambling for good. Many people play on a weekly basis at gas stations and spend this amount in their lifetime. You just did it faster. Now back to work and start saving. You think you fucked up? Of course you did, lol. You must make a good salary at work considering you haven't killed yourself yet. I'd be gone. None of Ops replies say he's actually going to get help, just that he's not going to be addicted to gambling anymore. Get to a GA meeting if you can. If not, reach out on our problem gambling. Your TLDR makes it sound like this was caused by loneliness, but this is entirely just gambling addiction. I hate rich people. Dude blew more money than I'd see in my entire lifetime on a 2D computer game, not even a AAA title. Not even yes. Time to Google gambling addiction for your state, get yourself a therapist, and get a support group. It's not over yet. Go to Gamblers Anonymous. Accept that you have a problem. Find a support group to help you out. Find another hobby. Go outside and get addicted to running or hiking, anything to keep you away from online gambling. I used to vent my loneliness in poker rooms too. The idea of being around people and the rush of gambling filled the void. When I started losing money and making other degenerate friends, the void became deeper. I stopped and found refuge in the gym and drinking. There is no cure to life, but there are alternative ways to quell the misery. This is not loneliness issue, this is gambling addiction issue. People have lost their houses, their families, their jobs because of gambling. Please take this serious, stop all gambling at once and seek help for your addiction. You do not lose 146k because you were bored and lonely, you have a huge problem, and please take it serious. I've been where you are at basically losing everything I've earned over the course of 3 years. This addiction is something that is very, very hard to get over alone. Please seek professional